In the Disney version, she gets to keep her feet and the prince. But in the original 1837 tale, Ariel does not get her happy ending. But if we think about Ariel's cavern for a second, and her obsession with human things that are not of her world, there is something there that may resonate with those of us humans. A natural inclination to covet that which we don't have, front row seats, a beachfront property, the latest tech gadgets, designer goods, bespoke fashion, an academic pedigree. A university professor once told a group of us undergraduate students about a phenomenon called postdoctorate blues, that upon completion of one's final degree, it was not uncommon for students to experience a void, a mild depression, now that what had been their life's focus for so long had suddenly come to an end. I had a hard time believing him. I thrived on challenge, earning good grades, taking on new projects, fueled my inner, quiet warrior. Until it happened to me. He was right. After 7 years of part-time coursework, study, research, analysis, and oh, so many words, it was all over. Emptiness. A fellow colleague said, "Congratulations, you finally earned your terminal degree." And somehow his use of the word terminal made me feel even worse. Thankfully, this hollow feeling didn't last very long, as these circumstances occurred right around the era of the great global pandemic. So I had a couple other thoughts floating through my head. And as I navigated lockdown in Amsterdam, walking past the crooked houses and along the canals, I would observe the fish and the ducks, the geese. I thought about how anguished we humans were, how burdened we felt by the unknown, while these creatures were none the wiser. I also thought of Jane Goodall. See, several years ago, I had the opportunity to attend the Parliament of the World's Religions event as a student participant. This conference welcomed thousands of spiritual leaders, peacemakers, and lay people from every possible faith. Hindus, Jews, Christians, Buddhists, Muslims, Sikhs. Imagine a space where hearts and minds are wide open, and every single soul is there to listen, learn, and explore pathways to peace. Reflecting on that experience does something to my heart every time. It was there where I saw Dr. Jane Goodall. What an aura. Silver hair tied back in a ponytail, simple quilted jacket, gentle smile. Her presence exuded peace. At Dr. Goodall's talk, she reminded us of the beauty of the natural world, where animals already live in harmony. Her study of chimpanzees spanned decades, offering insights on the evolution of human beings, our relationships, and survival skills. Survival skills. All living beings share the same goal, to survive. Yet we humans, due to our highly advanced and sophisticated intellect, many of us think that we are above nature. Over time, we have demonstrated our extraordinary capacity to destroy, pulverize, extinguish, annihilate. What other living being has the audacity? After Dr. Goodall's talk, I was so moved. I had to go meet her, talk to her. But like a classic movie scene, the crowd gathered around her, and all I could see was a sea of heads. No chance I could get near her. Fast forward to the year 2020, the year of perfect vision, when the world comes to the collective realization that we've lost sight of what's important. For years, we've been driven to fill our pockets, fill our CVs, fill our egos, fill our closets. And for what? Tell me you didn't wear the same sweatpants for weeks. Yeah, the toxicity of achievement culture and societal pressures have led to us just scrambling to fill the void. And as it turns out, we really don't need all that much. In Sarah White's research on well-being, she explores topics like the quality of life, life satisfaction, and the economics of happiness. Her findings from a Bangladeshi village indicated that an ideal society was one where everyone lived in happiness with rice, clothes, and respect. It can be that simple. Back in Amsterdam, as I was observing these living creatures around me, mindfully going about their business, keeping their egos in check, because they have no egos, really, I realized that it took a global pandemic for us to keep us humans in check. As painful as 2020 was for humanity, this global pause was a beautiful byproduct of a tragic time. We slowed down, turned inwards, and we all know that once we were forced to be still for a little while, the drop in carbon emissions allowed our planet to breathe more easily. Only just. In mindfulness meditation practice, it is the breath that anchors us, steadies our thoughts, calms our angst. And in my research on mindfulness in schools, it was those students who engaged in mindfulness practice regularly who could recognize its influence on their thoughts, speech, and action. This is a mighty superpower that we all possess. This is what separates us from the rest of the animal kingdom. A few years before the pandemic, I was headed to a work conference, and as I was disembarking the plane, I noticed an older lady walking in front of me. Silver hair, tied back in a ponytail, simple quilted jacket. No way. Jane Goodall was on my flight. As I sped up to catch up with her, I had no idea what I was going to say. Was I going to get an autograph, ask for a selfie? When I reached her, I caught her eyes and I said, "Dr. Goodall," to which she smiled. And I said, "Thank you for everything that you're doing, for everything that you've done." And to this she said, "Thank you for everything you're doing." Wow. As a school counselor, I've been supporting young people all my adult life. And as a university counselor, I may know a thing or two about international admissions and how to help students figure out what they want to do with their futures. But the truth is, my wish for all my students is for them to find the capacity to be humble and the courage to still the noise. You are enough. All of us already has everything we need to create our own butterfly effect, simply by being still. By settling our thoughts and taming our desires, we all have the collective capacity to take better care of all living things. So, thank you for making thoughtful choices for our planet, our communities, but most of all, for yourselves. ขอบคุณค่ะ